Hi guys, I'm Uncle Richie.
Yo, what up? J Money's back.
And this is C10. And you're listening to the Uncle's Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 63 in what will be our makeshift episode. I'm sure some of you would have seen that, I'm currently moving and we always record in my apartment or upstairs. But it's all come to an end now. You won't be seeing the same background that you've been seeing on the podcast for quite some time. Quite a sad thing, actually. But anyways, all good things must come to an end. And, with that end, we're going to be filming, recording in, a different area. We're still working that out, figuring it out. If you're someone who has studio space or an office, and you watch the uncles, and you think we can hop in there and record, then man, send us a DM. Let us know, because we're looking at the moment, but we've got a few ideas up our sleeves. So we're definitely gonna keep going. We're not gonna give up that easily. So this episode, I put up a little post probably a week ago now, and I asked a few people out there just to send through some questions that you would want to ask myself, just regarding my 6 months of no alcohol and how all of that's going. So let's dive into it, because I know there's quite a lot to discuss. I got about 8 questions from the people out there. I won't name names, but you guys know who you are. But we'll work our way down the list. So first question was, are there any other things you like to indulge in while the beers are a no? Answer is yes. There are a lot of things that I've been indulging in. Probably one of the biggest ones would have to be sweet treats, mainly chocolate. Since I haven't been drinking, it's probably been like a block a week. That sounds bad, but lots of chocolate. Just going to the chocolate aisle and just trying out the different chocolates. Cadbury's done pretty well this year. They've released so many good ones. I like the Crackle one. Crackle one's been going pretty good. The different types like caramel. I even like to try different ones some weeks, like Kit Kat Milo I had the other day. That was really nice. Whittaker's coconut, undefeated. I'd have to say that's probably one of my favorite ones, Whittaker's coconut. So chocolate's definitely the big one I indulged in. Probably another bad one that I struggled with early on in the year, probably about like 3 or 4 months in, was vaping. That was quite a big one, if I have to be honest. Just Friday afternoon, or even just going to events, because everyone will be drinking alcohol. I'd want to have a vape, and then you sort of hold on to the vape. It hangs around for another week, and then you start to notice, your lungs are getting a bit wheezy and start to feel a bit heavy on the run. So not a good thing. I'm trying to cut it out fully now over the next 6 months, which is going to be tough, another big challenge. But anyways, that's those are a few things there that I indulged in. I'd say there are probably a few more, but those two come to mind. Alrighty, so next question. What are the biggest changes physically / mentally you've noticed since quitting the booze? I think the biggest one for me is definitely losing weight. Weight that I've been trying to lose for a couple of years now, just like unnecessary fat on the body. So I went from about 95 kilos at the start of the year, January 1, and now I'm sitting around about 88 last time I checked. So yeah, about 7-8 kilos. I went down to 87, but yeah, starting to get or put more on now, sort of muscle mass and go from there. So 88 kegs. I think that's the biggest thing or the biggest change I've seen physically. Is just losing the weight, and then also just trying to be as consistent as I can in the gym. So whether it's running 5K, 2K, 2K, 3K, 5K here and there, and then go into the gym consistently and doing different sorts of movements that I would say I probably did when I was younger. Jumping around, running, strengthening the knees again because they've had a tough time through footy injuries and stuff like that. So just trying to build them up. And mentally, now this one's a pretty hard question to answer. Yeah, I think, mentally there are so many benefits to it that, it's crazy. I just, for me, myself personally, just being more confident in the kind of person I am, being more confident in my decisions, my goals, my direction and purpose in life. I think that's the biggest thing. What I've noticed is that there are lots more opportunities. Having not had alcohol for some time now, just to be able to think clearly around certain things. Whereas before, some people would probably say that I'm a pretty confident person, but before I was probably not as confident in myself, especially about certain things. I'd always ask, is this what I should do? Or, should I do this? Or question myself in my mind, which would always then be doubting myself or doubting my abilities. So now it's just about, strengthening my mind, trying to, build a platform that I can, maintain or sort of leverage off. Because, this year, one of the biggest reasons as to why I decided to not drink alcohol was because I wanted to just set the foundation for, the next few years to come. I'm nearly 30 now, and I just wanted to be able to, be that guy or, be that father or be that dad that, is fit, he's hardworking, he's always, out there, outdoors, playing with his kids. Those are the biggest things that, I'm starting to think of. And, I look at other fathers who are like in their 40s and 50s and, they look in shape, they're looking healthy, they got a nice beard, they're just, you can tell that they're just on top of things and they're living life to the fullest. So, that's who I want to be. But yeah, that's probably the biggest change mentally that, I've noticed over the last 6 months is just trying to build this mental cage so that, nothing really rattles it. Yeah. question number 3. How did you tackle FOMO, if that was something you experienced? FOMO, wow. Fear of missing out, for anyone that didn't know that. I'm sure all of you know that. Man, this was a big one. I think in my early 20s, I had big FOMO. Whenever my mates were doing stuff, I always had to be there, no matter what. You know, you just... the saddest thing was I even like put family things off to to go and do things with friends, when looking back at it now, it was like, you know, you didn't need to go to all of them. You know, you could have gone and seen your family rather than going to this thing where, you know, you went out and drank, and then, you know, it's just like another weekend, really. But now it's just all about picking and choosing. You know, where am I gonna spend most of my time? You know, what is fun? What do I want to do that's fun? But by fun, I mean like, you know, rewarding fun. So how did I tackle that? Probably the first 2 months, I had a bit of FOMO, just like, you know, looking at friends going out to the pub, you know, having drinks on a Friday after work. All of those things that, you know, made me really want to just crack a beer open and just, you know, rip in, or go out and meet some friends and then, you know, stay up and have fun, really. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I was sort of in a position where I, you know, had the accident, damaged my head, you know, went to hospital. I was in hospital for like 3 nights, so I did a lot of thinking then, didn't have much sleep. And, you know, I thought about what this year was going to look like, and I sort of planned it out in my head that, you know, it'll be a year where there would be a lot of sacrifice with drinking, which meant that, you know, you'd have to sacrifice seeing your friends or going out and doing the fun things. And I think for me, understanding that and then going back as to the reason, you know, going back to my why and saying, well, you know, you had this accident, you thought about this, you know, are you going to give in, or are you going to continue on with the goal that you set? So I think that was the biggest one for me. That's how I tackled FOMO, is just going back to my why and telling myself, you know, you don't really need that right now. This is what you need, you know, go for a walk, go to the gym. For me, it was editing the podcast. Like if we had an episode coming up, and if you know, if friends were doing something or going out for dinner, I'd just, you know, say, I'm editing the podcast, you know, there's a reason. And shout out to my friends, because the real ones, they know, you know, they've been supportive of everything that's been going on at the moment. And, you know, they don't force me or anything. Like, you know, at the start there was a bit of, you know, oh, you're fucking pussy, and all of that. But it's just all part of it. You know, you got to have a tough skin and don't give in to what others are going to say. You just got to be fully focused in on your vision and your goal. But yeah, that's how I tackle FOMO. Question 4. Geez, I got to be quicker with these responses. Challenges you faced. Has your circle changed because of it? Oh, well, there you go. I actually, you know, answered it a bit there in the end, but you know what? I'm just going to say that I'm very blessed and grateful that, you know, my friends understood the decision I made, and everyone has been quite supportive. I think that's the biggest thing. So, like, really, my circle hasn't changed. I speak to all the same guys. I message all the same guys. I see them The biggest thing is I've been to the, all the events that I've been invited to, say weddings, weekends away, all of that. But because my friends understand now that I don't drink, it's not so much of a burden anymore. People are more accepting, which is what is making it so easy, because I'm going into it now that knowing that they know. So I just got to have fun and watch people get drunk. Yes, I'm watching you, everyone. Nah. Fifth question. Okay, what has been the super sub for alcohol to keep you focused? What has been the super sub for alcohol to keep you focused? Damn. Yeah. The super sub. By super sub, do you mean a substitute for alcohol? Or is it something that is keeping me focused? I think something that, well, let's go with the second part of the question. Something that's keeping me focused would have to be the podcast. I mean, myself, Jackman, and Charles, we're really passionate about showcasing our country, Papua New Guinea, our people, the beautiful people from Papua New Guinea. And we just love being from Papua New Guinea. I mean, we just want to showcase that beauty to the world, showcase it to Australians. Because, yeah, it was funny growing up and, every sort of, not everyone, but most people you talk to, they ask, oh, is it cannibals still in PNG? And, what are the villages like? And all of that, questions like that. But it's not because of it's not because they're ignorant or anything. It's just the lack of knowledge around, what does PNG actually look like? Port Moresby is like a mini city. Like I've been to places like, Suva and Manila and third world countries like that too. Port Moresby is up there, man. Like the city is quite nice. The shopping experience, the waterfront, you got a few different shops there, a few different areas that are, world class. So it's definitely a city, and I think that's just a big part of what I've been trying to do over the last 6 months is just share all the beautiful stories that we have to offer. There are so many people that go unheard, and I just want to, shine some light onto their stories. And it's been going well because, a lot of people, especially Aussies, some of my mates come up to me and say, "Oh man, I listened to that episode and I didn't really know about that." And that's when it's like sort of like, that ding moment where it's like, yeah, okay, we're at least making a change within one person, and that's our goal, is just to mainly change the perceptions that the media has been portraying about Papua New Guinea as being a dangerous place. Don't get me wrong, it's dangerous, but dangerous in different areas, and you got to know where to go. It's like here in Queensland, like someone got stabbed the other day in Brisbane City. That could be anyone. So it's all the same. Everywhere's the same. But yeah, my super sub for 2024 has been the Uncle's Party, baby. Okay. Question 6. Now we're getting close. We've got 3 more questions to go, and then I'll shut the up. How did you manage to stay away from alcohol if you have friends who love drinking? Ooh. This goes back to my the fourth question of has your circle changed because of it? I think this question, so I'll repeat it again. How did you manage to stay away from alcohol if you have friends who love drinking? So I think this question in itself is probably the main reason as to why people don't or stop drinking alcohol is because they're afraid of what their friends might think of them. I'll say that again. They're afraid of what their friends might think of them. And I know that was probably the biggest one for me. It's like, shit, if I tell my friends that I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore, fuck, they're going to think I'm a pussy, or like they're going to think I'm a little bitch, or, all of those things run through your mind at the start. And then you tell your friends, and, that's when you sort of realize who are your friends and who aren't. Is the ones that are gonna support you during that time or that decision. Are they gonna step away and be like, I don't want to hang around with him anymore, he's getting weird, or little things like that. And that's when you sort of understand, like, who are your top 10 friends, and who are the ones that are going to be there, say, when shit gets heavy. So I think it's a really, that's a great question, I think, but it's all up here. And what I said earlier about, this year is the year of building, that sort of mental cage or that foundation for the next years to come. It's a big part of that too, is, understanding who your friends are, because what's that saying? You're only as good as your your friendship circle. So, if you hang around 6 blokes, this is an example, who watch rugby league a lot, then you're probably only gonna be talking and thinking about rugby league 24/7. If you hang around with 6 blokes who own their own businesses and are making $100,000 a year, that's probably going to make you think about owning your own business and earning $100,000 a year. So it's just about, putting yourself first, being selfish with who you are and what you're trying to achieve, and then the friends will come if they want to come. If they don't, then see you later. Alrighty, 2 more questions. Second last one. Do you think you would have relapsed if there were no zero alcohol beers? Be honest. Oh man, this is a freaking great question. Damn, probably. Because at the moment, every event I go to, I have zero alcohol beers. Probably like 1 an hour, because otherwise my first event I went to crazy, and I was trying to race people with the zero alcohol beers. And then I realized that I had 12 zero alcohol beers. And I thought in my head, I was like, what is the point of having 12 zero alcohol beers? No point at all. Like, you're better off just drinking water at that stage. So yeah, I reckon, yes, short answer. Do you think you would have relapsed if there were no zero alcohol bevies? Yes, I reckon I would have had a beer, or, thought about it more. But shout out to the no zero alcohol beers, because you guys out here saving us no alcohol peeps. Last question, and then I'm out for tonight for episode 63. What pushed you to start this journey, and what's been your main motivation to keep going? Man, I think, I touched on it a bit at the start there, but having the accident, nearly breaking my skull, that was probably what pushed me to start this journey. Just understanding that, life is too short, and you need to you just need to push through shit and to, you know, really find where you sit within this world, and then, you know, push through. Because I think, yeah, what happened to me back then kickstarted the journey. But I mean, it's also been like the motivation to keep going. And along the way, you pick up little bits and pieces here and there that fuel the motivation, such as the podcast, such as keeping fit, such as keeping healthy, you know, maintaining positivity, good thoughts, speaking to good people, making friends with the right connections, you know, getting rid of friends who, you know, might not be good connections. That's all my motivation to keep pushing through and to keep going. And I think, you know, one thing that I said earlier as well is just about, you know, looking forward 5-10 years and actually thinking about, you know, what is the type of man that you want to become, or what's the type of legacy you want to leave behind. That's a really big one, and that's a question that I want to leave with you guys as well. Is, you know, what is your motivation for the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? What sort of legacy do you want to leave behind? And, you know, what kind of man do you want to become for your partner, your family, you know, women that are listening as well? You know, what kind of person do you want to be in 5 to 10 years for your son, for your daughter, for your families, for your friends? Jeez, we got deep there. Yeah, but anyways, I hope that answers all your questions. I just want to say a big shout out to everyone that sent in a question, because you guys rock. Nah, you guys are probably, you know, some of our loyal followers. You followed us from the start, from the beginning, and, you know, we just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's jumped on board. You know, if you're listening to this on YouTube, on Spotify, you know, go down, subscribe, leave us a comment, make sure you like it, and yeah, just keep supporting the uncles, because we really want to keep bringing on amazing guests so that we can keep providing some great stories to those people, to you guys that are listening and watching week in, week out. But yeah, J Money will be on the next episode, and then we've got another special guest. Oh my god, got another special guest, guys, and I'm so excited for this one. I don't want to give too much away, but you'll see. We'll do a little preview, but yeah. Thanks again, everyone. Uncle Richie, over and out.